Welcome to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, hitting you all the action. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Hope you guys are gearing up and getting ready for an awesome, Christmas. Hope you guys, having fun. Say Christmas out there. Although you wrestling heads out there that definitely want to know more about professional wrestling, make sure you guys, Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show so you can get notifications whenever we go live, and always make sure to participate inside that chat. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We have a great show for you today, all lined up. Today we have our WWE Monday Night RAW sneak peek, and then we're going to talk about WWE Saturday night's main event, and then we got TNA. We got TNA talk. Over the weekend, we had Final Resolution. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to get into some WWE NXT preview. And then our fifth and final segment, we're going to talk about some AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash. So, obviously, usually I do those on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But, we're getting some holiday hours here at the network. We're gearing up to be bringing on a lot more podcasts and when it comes to the new year. So, yeah, we're going to get some holiday time. Definitely going to love and, obviously miss, you guys. But we're going to go live on Monday, Friday. Make sure you keep tabs on the GSMC Sports Network so you can get all your favorite shows. You can always access them, when we pre-record them and upload them onto YouTube. So if you ever want to, we're still going to be uploading content. Just make sure you, keep tabs on that. And also next week, for Christmas week, there will be no podcast. We will not be going live. We're not going to record any kind of show. Spending some time with our loved ones, families, enjoying the holidays, over this, beautiful, holiday season. And then after that, we're going to go. It's going to be Monday, Friday once again. But then at the beginning of the new year, starting Monday, January 6th, mark your calendars. We're going back to the regular schedule where we're going to be going Monday through Friday. You're going to have me. I'm going to be live 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Talk about the greatest thing ever, all professional wrestling. So, just give you guys a nice little heads up. So while we're gearing up for an awesome podcast as usual, just want to remind you guys we love hearing from you during the show. Make sure you guys hit that super chat, whether if you got a burning question or a hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling, or just something you've been dying to get off your chest. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we want to make sure that you guys feel like your voice is heard. This podcast is all about making sure you guys' voice feels like it's part of the mix. So don't be shy and drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed, why not hit up that super chat, collect that $sign right there. Whatever you put inside that box is going to be guaranteed to be featured on the show. Plus, it's a great way to support the GSMC Sports Network. Your super chats obviously helps us keep the lights on these amazing podcasts with all these amazing podcasters who have one goal in mind: to bring you guys sports content that you guys that you love so dang much. We are super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Once again, if the super chat is not your thing, go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network here, the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. But of course, in terms of talking sports, it's inevitable. There's going to be some disagreements. There's going to be some criticism, and it's all good. It's already water under the bridge. It's all gravy. It's all good in the neighborhood. Don't even worry about it. I just want to make sure you guys feel like you're part of this podcast. So, make sure, don't be shy. Just make it like an Ike. Just do it. All right, so we got our segments up. Let's go ahead and get started on some WWE Monday Night RAW. We got Bronn Breakker defending his WWE Intercontinental Championship against Ludvig Kaiser. This match, obviously, I feel like there'd be no reason to take the belt off Breakker so early in his second title run. This match is more or less just going to be... I think this match ends cleanly. I don't really see any reason to include Sheamus into it, or maybe like a random Pete Dunne or something, or R-Truth, whatever. This match is going to be all about making sure people get the notion that Ludvig Kaiser, which he is, he's a great, phenomenal wrestler, and he's going to be taken seriously in the future of WWE. And more or less just kind of alienate himself from Gunther, being Gunther's, kind of being his lackey dog and stuff like that. This is going to be a way for him to kind of solidify himself as a mid-card wrestler who could potentially contend for the Intercontinental Championship, but just not right now. He's still kind of fresh off of Gunther's bandwagon. So, but this match is going to be great. It's going to be honestly, sleeper for one of the greatest matches on Raw that we'll probably see tonight. But overall, I'm super excited to find out what happens with this. Next, we have a WWE Tag Team Championship match. The Judgment Day defend their title against the War Raiders, and I've kind of had this philosophy throughout my tenure here as your GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast host is, I always thought they were going to give Finn Balor his own singles run. I've read articles, I've read reports that Finn Balor is expected to get a singles push. Maybe this is finally the time where, maybe this is finally the time when they do it. But, putting the tag team titles on the War Raiders would be, it's not like the War Raiders are super heavyweights, although they kind of come off as that. But they often play down to their competition. If they fight somebody like Legado del Fantasma or the LWO, it'll seem like not a smash spot, if that makes sense, because Ivar, he's huge. Eric, also these two behemoths of a men that they have championship titles around their waist. They're going to dominate. And with this new superstar portal coming around, there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to see other tag teams. I want to see Nathan Frazier and Axiom making that main roster jump on Monday Night Raw. But, if the Judgment Day are planning to break up, you take the titles off of McDonagh and Balor tonight. You just do. Heading into the new year, it's about time. This is the final. No, this isn't the final Monday Night Raw. This isn't. No, we have about 2 Monday Night Raws before, Netflix, the new era of Netflix begins. So I think overall, they'll probably keep the titles on them tonight. Obviously, we're not too sure what's going to happen between the Judgment Day, Mysterio, Finn Balor obviously beefing, Liv Morgan kind of having to play peacekeeper. Without Finn Balor, I feel like JD McDonagh, Carlito, and Dominic Mysterio are kind of lost. Dominic is barely holding on to a storyline by, kind of being attached to Liv Morgan's side a little bit there. But now that you had Raquel Rodriguez kind of come into the fray and kind of be her muscle, you know what I mean, to kind of, stop her from getting her arse kicked from Rhea Ripley all the time. So, that's the thing. If you're planning to have these guys finally break up, obviously you take the titles off them. Like I said before, think about the transfer portal. It's like a superstar shakeup. Who's going to be seen on Monday Night Raw tonight? I feel like we will be seeing somebody. We're going to see somebody. Ethan Page would be pretty badass. It'd be pretty cool. Drew McIntyre was seen on SmackDown, attacked Jimmy Uso. Obviously, seems like he is making his jump onto SmackDown. It would be crazy to kind of see Ludvig Kaiser and Gunther switch shows. Maybe Chelsea Green now, because she just won the WWE Women's United States Championship. Lash Legend would be huge. She'd be an amazing asset to any Raw or SmackDown roster. Also tonight, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston will be taking center stage in Kofi's hometown of Boston. But will they be booed off stage again? I'm not too sure. I kind of want to hear what they have to say. I kind of want to hear, I want to see them turn full heel tonight. I want to hear them tell the crowd to shut up, shut your mouths when we're talking, or just something like that. I feel like we were kind of owed. Next, we have a triple threat match for in the tournament to determine who's going to be the inaugural WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. We got Raquel Rodriguez, Zoey Stark, and Kayden Carter. Obviously favorite Raquel. I think she, is it possible that she's going to have the belt with Liv Morgan? That'd be quite the storyline. But, Zoey Stark having the belt would be pretty badass. Pure Fusion Collective obviously seems like a bonk storyline already, although it seemed like it was going to be pretty promising. For me, I feel like I was robbed of, of those talented women. When I saw Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, and Zoey Stark come together, I had so much high hopes that this group was going to change the perception of these amazing women, their careers, and, kind of put them in the win column, cause them to be successful. Just a force to be reckoned with within the women's division on not just Raw, SmackDown, not WWE. So, a little sour about that. So if Zoey Stark doesn't win tonight, I gotta be honest, might as well just basically put the belt around Raquel Rodriguez. No, but there's still, other matches to be kind of seen. Next, we're gonna have CM Punk address Seth Rollins and everything that he said. Everything on Monday Night Raw right now is in shambles. You got Drew McIntyre coming around trying to kick everybody in the face. Seth Rollins, he's not a heel, but he's not really playing like a babyface. All he wants is justice for people who, why are you teaming up with Roman Reigns? If there's anybody who knows how much of an animal, how much ego you can put into one superstar, I stood behind next to him with the Shield for quite some time. I know how bad he could possibly be. And of course, Sami Zayn rubbed it in Seth Rollins' face. I mean, he started it, basically, with that chair shot that was heard around the world when Seth Rollins betrayed Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. But, it should be pretty cool. Obviously these two building up some momentum heading toward WrestleMania season, heading into the Royal Rumble. I feel like both these guys will be in the Royal Rumble. There's no doubt in my mind. Maybe the final two. Maybe the final two would be badass. The final three would be Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns. That would shake things up, quite a bit. Maybe you throw The Rock in there. Maybe you throw Solo Sikoa as the final four. And then, everybody obviously wants to get Roman out. Or vice versa, wants to get Solo Sikoa out. Maybe you'll see a temporary, tag team or an alliance between Seth Rollins and Solo Sikoa. Heading into Royal Rumble season, just WrestleMania season is just, it's phenomenal. I can't wait to see what else is in store. Does the Wyatt Six hope to bounce back from that loss against the Final Testament? Everybody in the wrestling world was shocked that they lost that match. I gotta be honest, I was super shocked. Obviously, I feel like, but then, this is just my opinion as a wrestling fan. Maybe that loss might have been a way for, Uncle Howdy or Bo Dallas to kind of dive deeper into this persona. Maybe, he finds a way to kind of bring the Fiend back. Maybe he needs to, become demonic. Maybe he needs to become, maybe he needs to become like a dark figure. Like, I feel like the right move would be bringing back the Fiend. That's because I was a huge Fiend guy. And, Uncle Howdy, he lost against the Final Testament. Obviously something, of course it was because of the fire extinguisher, yada, yada, yada. But if you're like this out of the ordinary extraterrestrial kind of like ghostly figure like Uncle Howdy is, things like that, I didn't expect him to kind of like, I don't know, kind of react that way. I didn't think it was going to affect him that much. I thought he was going to bounce back, but, they were able to kind of pick up the win. Obviously, it's good that you kind of make the Wyatt Six don't seem too dominant right off the bat. And it's kind of bad because you kind of make them look weak at the same time, especially Uncle Howdy's character. Like I said, maybe this will cause him to dive into his, to kind of reach into his bag of tricks and potentially bring in more of a demonic character. We got Rhea Ripley to speak tonight. Also, to address the Rhea Ripley being World Heavyweight Champion. I got to be honest, guys. Oh God, my patience for this storyline is kind of running dry, and I'm sorry. Like both these girls, they're cool and all. They're very, very cool. They're awesome with the whole Dominic Mysterio recovered. I get it, but something's got to give. Either give the belt to Rhea Ripley or have her switch shows. Because right now you just kind of wash, rinse, and repeat, and it's the same thing, man. And just give the belt to Rhea. Like just end all of our misery and just make it happen. Damage Control, potentially we can see Asuka coming back within the next couple of weeks on Monday Night Raw, but they need a new direction. They need a new direction right now. They do. Right now they are babyfaces. Dakota Kai made it to the second round of the Intercontinental Women's Championship tournament. Obviously, Io Sky recently losing at Saturday night's main event. Kairi Sane still has to participate in her qualifying match. I think she lost against Lyra. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. But we're going to find out new directions for these four women. Next, we have, another wash, rinse, and repeat. Let's do it again. Finn Balor of the Judgment Day and Damian Priest. Both of them were unsuccessful in dethroning Gunther for that WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So now we're going to get into another feud between these guys. We're going to end, Monday Night Raw, with the Damian Priest getting beat up by the Judgment Day again. But, hopefully they'll change it up. Maybe I'm just being a cynic. Who's going to challenge Gunther? We're going to find out the new challenger hopefully this week they start building up, heading toward the first episode of Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre is expected to be at Monday Night Raw to speak. And, I'm excited to kind of ultimately see what he has in store. So, I'm super excited. Can't wait to get into it. All right, guys. So, hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into my second segment. We got WWE Saturday night's main event. We're going to review it. I'm going to give you my analysis, my reactions when we come back. So, grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 30 seconds. So, hey, do not go absolutely anywhere.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, usually every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time at the beginning of the new year. Make sure you guys check out our shows and keep tabs when we upload them on YouTube. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We talked about our WWE Monday Night Raw sneak peek, and now we're going to get into some WWE Saturday Night main event analysis. But before we do any of that, just want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that super chat, whether if you got a burning question or a hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling here at the GSMC Sports Network. We want to make sure you guys are getting absolutely everything that you've been dying to get off your chest. Make sure you guys share it. We are all ears. This show is all about keeping the conversation lively, making sure you guys feel like your voice is part of the mix, so don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed, why not use that super chat? Hit up that $, which guarantees anything you guys put inside that box It's going to be featured, talked about, maybe even debated about on this show. Plus, it's a great way to kind of keep the channel, to support the GSMC Sports Network so we can keep doing the thing that we love so dang much, all with all these amazing, passionate podcasters, so we can make sure, we can keep giving you guys the content that you guys love to consume on a day-to-day basis that you love so dang much. We are super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep this party going. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. But of course, if the super chat not your thing, it's all good. Go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link at the gsmcpodcast.net. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. But in terms of talking sports, we get it. Criticisms, disagreements, it's going to happen, but it's all good. It's already water under the bridge. It's all gravy, baby. It's all good in the neighborhood. Feedback is a gift. Just want to make sure you guys are absolutely ready and passionate to share your guys' opinions. All right, without further ado, let's jump on into our second segment. We got WWE Saturday Night's main events. It was good. It was good. It was pretty damn good. I liked it. I gotta be honest, I love the classic Stark. I love the classic look, the railings. I love the the entrance. I love the turnbuckles. I love the WWE golden sign. I gotta be honest, when it comes to wrestling, I do love a breath of nostalgia here and there. It was cool. It was hip. I thought it was pretty badass. Definitely, it was super cool. Definitely, Jesse the Body Ventura was on the mic for the main event, but mostly he was next to Joe Tessitore, obviously kind of, digging into his roots as a heel commentator, insulting Dusty Rhodes and insulting, Cody Rhodes about, like, washboard abs or something like that. Actually, I didn't quite get it. I didn't know what he was doing until, like, I looked at Joe Tessitore and he was kind of like that. And I was like, oh, okay. I think that was an insult. I'm just kidding. No, it might have went all way over my head, but I didn't really I didn't really get it. Pat McAfee returns to WWE. Obviously, he's going to return to full-time WWE Monday Night Raw announcer, probably with Michael Cole. No Corey Graves, and I was kind of shocked. I didn't see I didn't get to see any Corey Graves today. But, Corey Graves obviously probably going to be the main guy on SmackDown. Maybe they move Joe over there and to work with oh my God, I can't believe Corey, to work with Corey Graves. Or, I don't think, maybe Wade Barrett, maybe like they have like a 3-man, announced team, which would be, which is pretty cool. There was times where they, that actually, was pretty successful back in WWE. But Pat McAfee, it's so cool to kind of see him come back. First and foremost, we have Drew McIntyre defeating Sami Zayn. We all kind of knew this was going to happen. Drew McIntyre claims in a promo that he said, I have to cure the cancer. I have to cure WWE of its cancer. It kind of reminds me of like a Jon Moxley kind of Death Riders storyline at AEW. Does Drew McIntyre round up a group of guys to kind of help him, to weed out all the cancer in WWE, all this Roman Reigns cancer and all this, bloodline stuff? Maybe this could be a potential storyline that'll fit. I feel like, Drew McIntyre, he has the relentlessness. He also has the popularity, kind of like a Jon Moxley, where he can go around WWE and do whatever the hell he wants. Ultimately, because he has the intimidation factor. But who's going to join Drew? Maybe, maybe him and Seth. That would be pretty damn interesting. I, kind of played with the idea that Gallus from NXT joined Drew McIntyre. There's a limited amount of possibilities, but it was kind of crazy to see Sami Zayn ultimately go down. Next, you get WWE legends like Santina, Tito Santana, Jimmy Hart, and I forgot the other guy's name, but he did some, didn't he design, no, he was with NBC, I think, no, I don't know, I'm just going to quit when I'm ahead, WWE legends, so it was kind of cool to kind of see that happening. Excuse me. Liv Morgan defeats Io Sky, a hell of a match. There was a couple of questionable moves when Io Sky botched a move on the turnbuckle. Then she fell. Then she rolled up Liv Morgan when only one of Liv Morgan's shoulders were down and they were still counting. That was kind of bad. And then at the end, a knee to Liv Morgan's nose, obviously causing her to bleed. But it kind of made it look cool, kind of made it look badass, so I wasn't really against that. But overall, I'm not complaining. It was a good match. Liv Morgan hitting the Oblivion. She hit it hard, too. She stuck the landing Io Sky. She defeated Io Sky cleanly, and that's something that she definitely needed on her resume. And when she's in matches like this where she fights against girls or, superstars of her own, kind of size, she puts on one hell of a match. But going up against a Rhea Ripley, going up against a Becky Lynch or a Bianca Belair, actually with Becky it was decent, or I don't know. Overall, I feel like Liv Morgan, when she works with superstars, kind of like around her, weight class or physical level, she puts on some great matches. So, maybe that's the reason why I'm not a huge fan of this Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan thing. Because honestly, the only person on Raw that could probably take down Rhea Ripley in her style of because, that's a big woman, she's pretty buff. Raquel Rodriguez, obviously those two seem like they could be in a category of their own, but that's how WWE's always been, and it's not going to change. So yeah, but overall it was a good match. Couldn't really complain. Obviously the victory, you see Dirty Dominic Mysterio and Raquel Rodriguez, and then of course Rhea Ripley comes out to confront Liv Morgan, basically telling her that I'm not going anywhere, I'm coming after that title. Next, we have these three men in a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I gotta be honest, I liked how they kind of had the tail of the tape before this match started. This match was basically to, kind of solidify Gunther's run as a champion and, further, further the feud between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. But overall, it was a good match, so I can't really complain too much. But ultimately, you saw Gunther do what he does best. Like, he was able to kind of outlast both of these opponents. At one time, it seemed like he was kind of manipulating them as well. I've recently told you guys that I love this new sensitive side that Gunther's showing. That he's not this guy that's going to attack somebody at the end of the match. He's always going to offer a handshake. He's going to fight with dignity, respect, and that's cool. And that's cool, and I feel like they should have changed that with Gunther. Next, we have the finals to determine the inaugural WWE Women's United States Champion. It was a good match. It was a good match between Michin, but Chelsea Green, with the star power and all that, she was able to win. She was able to win. So now Nick Aldis, although he's not a huge fan of Chelsea Green and she annoys the crap out of him, she's going to be staying. She's here to stay. Finally, Chelsea Green gets a belt. And, for me, I feel like it's about time. It's about time that WWE actually starts investing some storylines, bookings, and just, kind of put some gold on this girl. And just kind of see what happens. Obviously, with this new mid-card title, you're going to be seeing a lot of Chelsea Green now on SmackDown. I kind of don't want, obviously I love the goofy Chelsea Green and stuff like that, and she's kind of a jerk. And, she's like an in-your-face kind of jerk heel. Like, I want to see her actually get down in some matches, though. Like, I want to see, because she has the talent inside that ring. She's spent so much time within the wrestling circuit. It's not like she's just this pretty face with a goofy mentality who, steals wins after wins after wins. I don't think that's the right spot for Chelsea over and over again. So it'd be kind of cool to kind of see if maybe she has a personality change where she starts to actually, maybe she tells Piper, she's like, hey, let's start training. Let's take this seriously, because I don't want to see her title run end abruptly because, they were like, okay, we put the title on Chelsea Green for a little bit. Hey, that was cool. So now, obviously, something needs to change. Main event time, we have Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Champion, defending his title against the pissed off, the betrayed, the hurt. Kevin was right. Kevin Owens. This match was, it was good. It was good. It was a good, 10 to 15 minutes. I think it was longer than that, actually. But overall, I thought it was, Cody Rhodes was able to pick up the victory. Kevin Owens introduced the chair after two officials being knocked out. And you got to love that Cody Rhodes, brought back the wing title just for one night only. When he showed up at the beginning of the show, you saw one guy, a WWE official, hold be holding like a case that looks like you can put like a machine gun in there or something. They love to protect their titles, which is kind of obviously, alluding to the Crown Jewel championships for the men and the women's, but, they had that pretty, they had that cool case, that made it seem like what they had in there was, the most prestigious thing you can find in the world. But this title was badass. I remember, it was kind of cool to see Triple H kind of let Cody Rhodes bring it out for one night, obviously, like that nostalgia stint that I was talking to you about. That WWE Saturday Night's Main Event was tonight. I remember Triple H, growing up during the Attitude Era, the McMahon-Helmsley era, further and further down the path. When Triple H that was basically his belt. I never saw anybody hold that belt, maybe besides The Rock and Mankind here and there. I never really seen anybody hold that with such pride like Triple H. So I thought, definitely think Paul Levesque saw that and he was proud. He was definitely damn proud of his achievements as well. So, like I said, Cody Rhodes with the crossroads on the chair. He used the chair. A lot of, Jesse the Body was basically making it seem like Cody was being the heel, which possibly, maybe Cody could definitely be heel, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. But, Charles Robinson standing on the outside of the apron, counting the 1, 2, 3 on the outside. I don't think I've never seen that as a wrestling fan. I've never seen that, and it was crazy. And I was like, that's a little wonky. Usually, the referee, takes his sweet ass, takes his sweet time. He's like, and he rolls into the ring. He's like, 1, 2, but then he was out there and he was like, bam, bam, bam. And I was like, dude, that kind of sucks. I feel bad for Kevin. Like, if anything, maybe he can kind of, that could be a case that the referee not even being inside the ring, I don't think that really solidified anything. But I don't know. For me, I thought it was interesting. I think it was funny. It was funny. Something that happened after the match that wasn't funny after Cody Rhodes got that 1, 2, 3 and retained the title was Kevin Owens hitting that package pile driver on the American Nightmare. Oh God, it was a doozy. It was a doozy. They bring back the pile driver to kind of make it seem like, there's, it's a forbidden move. We've seen, wrestlers ultimately, lose some time in their career, ultimately lost their career thanks to a botched move like the pile driver, like something that involves with the head and stuff like that. I gotta be honest, sometimes, obviously, I'm not trying to be a jerk and bring this up. Rich Holland's finisher, obviously that's what caused Big E to get, to break his neck. And, sometimes when I see him hit that move, still to this day, I'm like, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. But ultimately, after the match, you saw Cody Rhodes being, after the attack, per se, I should probably say, you saw Cody Rhodes being carried off in an ambulance, obviously. They said, he has, his spinal, something like that. Is he going to have to vacate the championship? I don't think so. Maybe that would be an interesting take to have him vacate the championship. Then you start out, the new year with a brand new spanking champion. And, that would make things a lot interesting on SmackDown. Because right now, I can't really think of anybody else who would feud with Cody Rhodes right now and challenge him for the title. I really honestly don't know anybody on SmackDown. Maybe on Raw who comes to SmackDown, maybe that could be a possibility. But as of right now, I just don't really see it happening. Kevin Owens and Triple H getting into a heated altercation after the match. And, these guys were pushing, they were shoving, they were yelling at each other. It looked pretty badass. It was a cool little spot. Obviously, it aired after NBC Saturday Night's WWE Saturday Night's main event. So you kind of had to get it on your social media feed or on your TikTok or Twitter or whatever. But it was, it was cool. Once again, professional wrestling using this new digital era of social media for good. All right, guys, so do not go anywhere. We're going to talk about some TNA Final Resolution. We're going to recap it when we come back. So, hey, do not go anywhere.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
All right. And welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time on the GSMC Sports Network. We talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling. We talk about all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, dramas, and updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, new signings. We talk about WWE to TNA, to AEW. If it makes major news on the world of professional wrestling, make sure you like and follow this show so you can get notifications when we go live. All right, guys, just kind of recap what we talked about. We had our WWE Monday Night RAW sneak peek, and then we talked about some WWE Saturday Night's main event. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into some TNA Final Resolution talk. Overall, watch highlights, pretty badass. You can definitely, right now TNA Plus is you can get it for free, a month free. So make sure you definitely take advantage of that. But Final Resolution, it wasn't too bad. Atlanta, Georgia. We saw JDC defeat Leon Slater, which was kind of a surprise to me. I thought Leon Slater was kind of on the up and up. JDC obviously still trying to, get into the good graces of the system of Moose and, Mike and stuff like that. But Leon Slater should be the X Division champion. But that's just my opinion. Obviously, maybe he's still young. Maybe he's at that kind of Javon Evans kind of ish stage that WWE NXT kind of has him on. But, he's impressive. He's impressive. Honestly, his style of wrestling, that's what the X Division really does need. Not necessarily, a big buff guy who can, destroy anybody, But, no, Moose is cool. He's all right, but I don't think he should be in the X Division. Frankie Kazarian able to defeat Jonathan Gresham. This was a big win for Frankie. Frankie Kazarian, he's very off and on. Obviously, he's been wrestling in TNA for quite some time. But, I haven't really seen him have a dominant run lately, and obviously he made his way to NXT, and I thought that was going to be a way to kind of jumpstart his career, kind of like what it did for Zachary Wentz and, the Rascals, and, then who was the other person? Joe Hendry becoming an international, sensation with all those views on social media when he came onto WWE soil with that Battle Royal to determine who was going to take on Trick Williams. And, it was cool, but, I think right now the collaboration between NXT and TNA is kind of going to be, I think it's on hold. I think it's on hold right now. Obviously, you've seen the Motor City Machine Guns come to WWE SmackDown and just be amazing. So maybe perhaps we could be seeing some other superstars going to TNA for a swap. Like I said, I would like to see AJ Styles go back. That would be pretty badass to see him, since TNA and NXT. I think that would be pretty cool. But Frankie Kazarian gets back into the dub column with the win. And still your TNA X Division champion Moose, able to defeat Kushida, kind of like a David versus Goliath kind of feel. I wasn't really a huge fan. Like I said, the more and more I complain, the more and more nothing's going to change. Moose should definitely be in the main event. Picture, I don't think he should be in the X Division. The Rascals defeat Jake Something, Hammerstone, and PCO and Sami Callihan, obviously building up some momentum for their tag team, a quest to become the TNA World Tag Team Champions, maybe to kind of take on the Hardys within their upcoming pay-per-view Genesis. Next, we have Trent Seven taking on Ace Austin. This was a good match. It was overall, I thought Trent Seven was going to become, I thought he was going to be victorious. It was kind of cool to see Ace Austin, obviously, Chris Bay being out with a terrible injury. Still, my thoughts and prayers and condolences to him and his family and loved ones during this holiday season. Ace Austin, he was able to kind of put it together, man. He was able to kind of take down Trent Seven. I thought this was going to be a nice win for Seven to kind of solidify his new reign as a heel as he turned his back on his former tag team partner Speedball Mike Bailey, who is no longer with TNA as of right now. It was a nice spot. It was a decent spot. Couldn't really complain. But it is what it is. Next, we had Jordan Grace taking on Rosemary. Ended in a no contest. But the match was good. Jordan Grace she knows how to make others look so better. She knows how to make other wrestlers seem like, make them seem like they're top tier, make them seem like they are in the main event category. Not a lot of superstars, especially with the physique of Jordan Grace, can kind of make that happen. But she just gets it. She just gets it. One of the best women's wrestlers I've ever laid eyes on. One of the best women's wrestlers in the whole professional wrestling industry. WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, Stardom, New Japan Professional Wrestling, you name it. Jordan Grace is definitely on that list. Being number one. But the reason why they ended in a no contest was Tessa Blanchard returned and attacked Jordan Grace, obviously building up some momentum for their feud heading to Genesis, so that should be a good one. Next, we have a fatal 4-way match to determine the number one contender for Nick Nemeth's title at Genesis. Joe Hendry, Josh Alexander, Mike Santana, and Steve Macklin all battled it out, but at the end of the day, Joe Hendry was able to become victorious. It was cool. I think it's his time. I think it's his time to become champion. I think so. It would be crazy, but it would open up so much different storylines and bookings if Joe Hendry was the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I feel like it'd be a match made in heaven. It'd be pretty great. Next, we have Masha Slamovich defending her TNA Knockouts World Championship against Tasha Steelz. Obviously, this match, it made Tasha look good. It did make Tasha look good. It made it seem like she belonged in the TNA Knockouts, category. I definitely liked how it was a Falls Count Anywhere match, but I feel like that favored Masha right there. I feel like that was kind of like a home field turf for her, and Tasha Steelz, as amazing and as gifted as she is as a wrestler, couldn't really hang on. And, you had Masha Slamovich obviously retain her TNA Knockouts World Championship. It would be interesting to kind of find out who's going to challenge her next. And still, TNA World Tag Team Champions, you saw the Hardy Boys in a tables match defeat the System, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. Hopefully this will be the end of Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards getting title shots after title shots after title shots. I feel like the TNA World Tag Team titles, they need to change the scenery. And, it's cool that you have an aged, Hardy Boys on there. It's not too bad. There's still, there's still more aerial and there's still more off the wall and willing to take chances than the Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. I feel like their tag team title run, although it was very impressive, but it seemed a little stale. It seemed like matches were heavily slowed down, but it's it is what it is. Obviously, you play to your advantages. But the Hardy Boys retained their TNA World Tag Team titles tonight or on Friday night. Next, we had the main event. We had the TNA World Champion defend his title against AJ Francis. Nick Nemeth won. We all kind of knew this was going to happen. Not taking anything away from AJ Francis, because he did great. He did great. No, there was nothing from JBL this pay-per-view, which came to kind of a shock. And you saw Joe Hendry kind of get into the mix at the end of it as well, and a nice little stare down. But I'll definitely expect AJ Francis to kind of be back into that position. But now we have a set match, the main event on Genesis, January 12th. We're going to see Joe Hendry taking on Nick Nemeth for that TNA World Championship. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see, how this will affect each of these guys, because Nick Nemeth is still relatively young in his title run. Recently won it in July Slammiversary, I think it was. When he won. And then Joe Hendry just been waiting patiently to get a shot and become the face of TNA. So, it's all going to be great. Obviously, these two superstars have a tremendous respect for each other. And, it's going to definitely perpetuate inside the ring, and it's going to be awesome. All right, guys, so hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our fourth segment. We have WWE NXT preview. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice-cold beverage, and join me here in about 20 seconds. So, hey, do not go anywhere.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSM.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alright, and we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage, curtain calls, rumors, dramas. We have inactive status updates, injury updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings. We talk about promotions from WWE to AEW to TNA to Ring of Honor to New Japan Professional Wrestling. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show. So make sure you guys, like and subscribe so you guys can get notifications whenever we go live, and you guys definitely make sure you guys participate inside that chat. All right, without further ado, we have WWE NXT, and this one's also gearing up to be a pretty awesome night. It's gonna be pretty dope. Starting off first, we have a tag team match in the women's division. We got Sol Ruca teaming up with Zarya to take on Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, the Metaphor Girls. Last week we saw a heated exchange in the locker room. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be super cool to kind of see Zarya go at it with Lash Legend, two absolute powerhouses. And Dean Sol Ruka, absolutely phenomenal inside the ring. And Jakara Jackson is like that. She's the hidden ace. Like, she's low key. She's pretty badass, man. She could definitely throw those hands, and she doesn't give up. She does not give up. I remember watching that tag team match with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair with Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, where she was just it wasn't that match. That match was good though. That match was good. It was a match with Julia and Stephanie Vaquer where it seemed like, Jakara Jackson seemed like she was getting the hell beat out of her the whole time. But, it's going to be great. She's very promising. It wouldn't surprise me if they pick up the win, during this bout. Zarya already, in favor of the WWE Universe, already on, walking that fine line of eventually becoming the NXT champion, or maybe the North American Women's Champion, So, giving some love to Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson would be pretty cool, especially if I feel like they belong on SmackDown or Raw. You know what? Let's put them on Raw would be pretty badass because, if you're going to put the belt back on Rhea Ripley, you kind of need bigger, more stronger, more intimidating, more, dominant superstars like Lash Legend on the roster, and be kind of cool to kind of see Jakara Jackson go after that, the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. But this match is going to be good. Definitely looking forward to it. Axiom finds himself in an uphill battle taking on Oba Femi, obviously, last week. It was kind of a miscommunication between the tag team once again. And I hope this doesn't contribute to them, breaking up, because I feel like these two are ultimately better together than they were apart. I would like to see Nathan Frazier and Axiom make their way on to Monday Night Raw. They would, they'd be a new spark that would spark the tag team division on Raw, because right now it's just, it's not working out. It's not working out with the Judgment Day, and, putting the titles on the War Raiders, yeah, it'll be a good change of scenery, but at the same time, it's, and it seems like it's a little stale. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to dog on Eric and Ivar at all, because they're, I feel like they're awesome. But, I don't know, this whole thing with the tag team division on Raw doesn't really seem like it's fixing itself. SmackDown, it's taking baby steps, but obviously DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, the Street Profits, obviously not right now because the Blood Day is kind of out of it. And I don't know how formidable of a tag team Pretty Deadly is. I kind of feel bad that they're always getting, their arses kicked and stuff like that. It'd be kind of cool to have them kind of go through a character change. When is Grayson Waller and Austin Theory finally going to break up? Not too sure, but we're gonna need somebody for that United States Championship. Definitely, a new contender. Would be kind of interesting to see if the LA Knight goes to Monday Night Raw, though. That would be pretty cool. That'd be a nice little feud between him and Bronn Breakker. That'd be pretty badass. But obviously, Oba's going to pick up this match. Axiom's going to go into that tag team match with Gallus. Not 100%. He's going to be beaten. He's going to be battered. I hope they win. I don't see any reason to take the titles off them, especially given the Gallus. Maybe. You know what? They've had the tag team champions they had the titles for quite some time. They lost it to Rich Holland and Andre Chase very abruptly, for a short amount of time. So, nothing but baby faces. It would be, interesting to kind of see if Gallus takes the stronghold over the NXT World Tag Team Championships. If they win tomorrow night, I feel like this will solidify that Nathan Frazier and Axiom are finally going to make the jump up to the main roster, which at the end of the day would be pretty cool. But, if you're planning to break them up, I wouldn't like that. Next, we had Eddie Thorpe against Trick Williams for the NXT World Championship. Trick Williams is going to win. Trick Williams is going to win, guys. Come on. There's no, why would they want to screw up that main event with Oba Femi at New Year's Evil? Eddie Thorpe, though. Eddie Thorpe, man. The guy who took out himself. That's crazy. I got to be honest, when he unveiled it to Ava was pissed. For me, I was kind of like, wait, is this guy serious right now? That's crazy. Yeah, I already know who the attacker was. Oh, you found out who attacked you? Yeah, myself. It was a little funky. It was a little funky, but overall, it is professional wrestling, and it's the entertainment factor, and we love it. But Eddie Thorpe, just like, man, I don't want to compare it to that match because it seems like it's a little bit different. But this is going to be a great spot for Eddie Thorpe to kind of ultimately prove that he is, he's Heritage Cup material. He's Heritage Cup material, and when Lexis King, we're going to talk about it later, when he becomes the Heritage Cup champion, which I think he will, they can have a nice little feud with him and Eddie Thorpe, because they used to hate each other back in the day. Back when Lexis King was the heel and Eddie Thorpe was the babyface, and now you kind of seen the roles kind of shift a little bit here. But Trick Williams is going to walk out, the same way he walked in, with that belt around his waist. Next, we have Shotzi, Gigi Dolan, and Tatum Paxley. Last week you saw Shotzi, return to WWE NXT, which is pretty badass. Obviously, this isn't on the card yet. Maybe they might be saving this for like a New Year's Evil kind of thing. But I can definitely see I could definitely see in a world with professional wrestling, I can see these girls, taking on the Fatal Influence with a 3-on-3 tag team match. Will it happen tomorrow on NXT? I'm not too sure, but I definitely think this match is going to, come out. Stephanie Vaquer, she was attacked. I think she fights Cora Jade Tuesday. I think she does. I definitely think she does. That would be pretty badass. Stephanie Vaquer finally jumping into the whole singles kind of competition, which would be, it's about time. We're going to get some more hype between Julia and the NXT World Women's Champion Roxanne Perez heading into New Year's Evil, so that should be pretty badass. Last week we seen OTM get into it with the No Quarter Catch crew. Ren Sinclair and Jada Parker seemed like they were kind of beefing. Actually, no. I think it was more or less Jada being pissed off about everything. And poor innocent Ren Sinclair getting being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Definitely terrible. Lexis King, Charlie Dempsey's going to give Lexis King a second chance at the NXT Heritage Cup, but he has to work out with him. I don't know what that means. Should be pretty interesting to kind of see. I don't know his workout regimen. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to the most. Yeah. Ethan Page, after losing against Tony D'Angelo, he seems like he's a lost cause. Seems like he's more down on himself. Where's the ego? The ego is gone. The ego is not landed. The mustard is off the hot dog. And Ethan Page needs a new storyline. But I don't think it's going to be on NXT. I really honestly don't. Tony D'Angelo, what's going to be next for the NXT North American Champion? Who's going to be his next match heading to New Year's Evil? But, we're all going to find out tomorrow. NXT on the CW. Make sure you guys tune in. All right, guys, it's kind of now we're jumping on to our fifth and final segment. We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. We talked about a lot of WWE today. Hit some TNA. Now we're going to talk about we're going to end off in a high note. We're going to talk about some AEW Dynamite holiday bash preview on Wednesday. So don't go anywhere. Grab your favorite bag of popcorn or whatever, or maybe a tall glass of water if you're looking to be healthy. But join us here in about 30 seconds. So hey, do not go anywhere. Alright, we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, dramas. We talk about inactive statuses, injury updates. We also talk about extensions. We talk about contract signings, contract new signings. We talk about promotions like the NWA, like the GCW, like Deathlock Professional Wrestling, New Japan Professional Wrestling, Stardom, WWE, AEW makes major news in the world of professional wrestling. We talk about it here on this show. So without further ado, let's go and jump on into our fifth and final segment of the night before I bid you farewell. Till next time, we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash. It's happening. It returns to Washington, D.C., the 5th annual Dynamite Holiday Bash. I think that, that's since they kind of, since they, became a wrestling promotion, I think that's kind of cool. So we're starting off with a bang. We have the Hurt Syndicate, Shelton Benjamin. He's the enforcer, taking on the Beast Mortos. Usually in Shelton Benjamin's matches, you've seen him kind of being that resilient, kind of being able to kind of overpower his opponents, but it kind of has a tall task ahead of him here. I think the Beast Mortos definitely could slide in for that steal, definitely in the Blue League as well. The Continental Classic moves on. Will Bobby Lashley kind of be involved in this? I don't think he will. It was kind of weird how he was not in the Continental Classic, I got to be honest. But the Beast Mortos, he very successful. Especially a couple of months ago, he was kind of on a roll. I remember that. I remember Don Callis was actually eyeing him to be part of the family. I don't know if he actually is, as of right now, part of the Don Callis family. But I think this is going to be a great match. Definitely a sleeper for match of the week here. Mercedes Mone defends her TBS championship against Anna Jay. This match would be so amazing, which would be so great if you found out that this, that somebody actually had a chance to dethrone Mercedes Mone. Mercedes Mone, she's cool and all, definitely love, respect, she's cool, whatever. But you kind of have to get the title to somebody else. The women's division right now in AEW is kind of suffering. I feel like, kind of giving Anna Jay the belt would be a brand new taste. And Mercedes Mone will still have the Women's Strong Championship. She's been a double champion for quite some time. Heading into the new year, something needs to change. And, having Anna Jay represent that mid-card title, I feel like would be phenomenal. I feel like it'd be great. I feel like you can kind of tailor-make a lot of, potential bookings with superstars that kind of have her same, wrestling style. I feel like Mercedes Mone does a little bit, but, it wouldn't surprise me if Mercedes Mone walks out victorious again. Maybe Camille finds a way to kind of screw over Mercedes Mone, then they start a feud together. It was kind of crazy. I felt like Camille came and she left so damn fast. I was kind of thinking that the storyline was going to have a little bit more teeth in it. I thought we were going to get like the Shawn Michaels and Diesel kind of thing where, she would have pushed Camille too far, during a match or something, and then she stalks her and she wants to beat the holy hell out of Mercedes Mone. But instead we got an on the ramp that, oh my God, you did this, you're fired. Oh my God, you can't fire me, I quit. I don't know. For me, I felt that was kind of a letdown, but that was just me, especially bringing in somebody like Camille, who obviously very prestigious in the wrestling world. Next, we have the Continental Classic. Gold League continues. Burial Assassin Will Ospreay takes on Darby Allin. Obviously, these two baby faces going at it. It's going to be great. I feel like Will Ospreay is going to win. Maybe I want Will Ospreay to win because, I like Darby. But if you have somebody that could potentially take on Kazuchika Okada for that Continental Championship, it'd be kind of cool to kind of see Darby go at it. But I think he's also preparing for his hike off Mount Everest, if I'm not too sure. Maybe this will be a way to, maybe during the match you see somebody take him out and, I don't know. But I feel like Will Ospreay should move on. Losing that AEW International Championship was a little rough. Kind of want to see him in the main event category. I do. But him kind of establishing prestige, holding on to another title like the Continental Championship, because I haven't really been seeing Okada on Dynamite very often, as opposed to when he got first signed with AEW. I feel like he was there all the time, kicking it up and partying with the Elite and the whole, Jack Perry and all that kind of jazz. But right now, I just don't really see, I don't really see it. I don't really see anybody but Will Ospreay being able to kind of defend his, kind of like one of his, his arch nemesis, with Kaz Okada. And I feel like it's going to be a great match. MJF to speak. Obviously, you saw him try to screw over Adam Cole last week on Dynamite. And now he has a match with him for that Dynamite ring at World's End. So it should be, hopefully we'll get MJF. Hopefully he'll come live. But then again, maybe via satellite we have Maxwell Jacob Friedman, which would be pretty lame. I got to be honest. I would be upset if that happens. But we're gonna get MJF on on Wednesday, so make sure you look forward to that. Swerve Strickland, what is going on with Swerve Strickland? Are we going to see him kind of have a direction, his a storyline? I kind of miss seeing this guy with the belt. As an AEW World Champion, he did his due diligence. He did really, really good representing a company, obviously, defeating Samoa Joe. A little more than a year ago, you saw AEW lose CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. And, not like a year ago. They lost Cody Rhodes quite some time. But they lost CM Punk about a year ago. So that's why you saw CM Punk debut on Survivor Series, which was, oh my God, kind of crazy. But Swerve, he needs a storyline, and I hope it's a good one because he deserves it. What's going on with the Death Riders, ladies and gentlemen? What's their next step? Are they going to continue to wreak havoc all over AEW, Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage? I think they will. Would be interesting to kind of find out their last stint with this fatal four-way match. Maybe try to, get somewhere with Switchblade Jay White, trying to attack Orange Cassidy, or trying to find a way to kind of divide the four and, have Hangman Adam Page kind of, turn Hangman against everybody. We're going to get Hook, Patriarchy, Christian Cage. I want to see something more from Hook. I feel like ever since he retired that FTW championship, he's been kind of a lost cause. Hasn't really seemed like he has a direction. Would be interesting if you see Jon Moxley being put in a spot where Christian Cage comes in and he tries to cash in at World's End, and obviously to screw over Christian Cage, one of his arch nemesis at the time. You have Hook. Screw over Christian Cage. Jon Moxley kind of takes it as or you screwed over that guy because we have mutual hate. But if you want to roll with the clan, you could definitely, you can find yourself with us. Hook needs a direction. He needs a storyline. Can we see him join Jon Moxley and the Death Riders? That would be that would be great for Hook. I feel like that would be great for, his character development. He kind of has this persona as he's not a babyface, he's not a heel. He just doesn't care. He honestly just doesn't care. He just wants to kick ass, take names. He wants to defend his father. Obviously, it would be pretty interesting to see Taz come back from an injury, and he would be part of this new Death Riders club, because I feel like they need one more guy. Like I said, I feel like within the next, month or two or whatever, I feel like Wheeler Yuta's going to be kicked out, or he's going to change his mind. But right now, he's still kind of, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's, in the right spot at the moment. But Hook joining Jon Moxley, it's a possibility. I would definitely love to see something like that. And it would be great for, the cold-hearted, handsome devil to kind of have a storyline where he can kind of further show how relentless and how passionate, how heartless that this guy can actually be. All right, guys, so thank you so much for tuning into the show. Definitely giving you guys my love during this holiday season. Make sure you enjoy it, hold your loved ones closer. Definitely want you guys to embrace the holiday spirit. Definitely Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you guys celebrate. Or if you don't, whatever, it's all good in the neighborhood. Just spread some cheer. Thank you so much for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Follow us on Twitter/X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for more content and updates. And don't forget to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show so you can get some notifications whenever we go live. Make sure you guys tune into all the other shows. Make sure you guys check us out on the GSMC Sports Network and the GSMC Podcasting Network on YouTube. We have college football podcasts. We have NFL podcasts. We have all-around podcasts. Make sure you guys tune into all these amazing guys because they're truly amazing and talented at what they do. Stay stay tuned for the Dead Ball Podcast with my boy Emran, the man with the hottest takes in the sports entertainment industry. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. That's it for me. Signing off. Stay beautiful, but most importantly, love you.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee